Cam fam, welcome back and welcome to our channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're returning subby, thank you so much for coming back. Today we have our toddler boy hairstyle video number 52. Alright, so today we are doing a pretty quick style. It is a braided style, but it's not like an intricate braided style, so this is like beginner friendly. You can also substitute the braids for whatever makes you comfortable. So we're using our Mielle MoistureRx Hawaiian Ginger Moisturizing Hair Butter. My go-to, my favorite thing to put in his hair. It's not too thick, it's not too strong of a smell. It doesn't really like revert his hair too much. It doesn't weigh the hair down. All around, just a perfect product. So I'm going with a little different setup this time. I'm actually doing a cold blow dry, a cold air blow dry. I'm just seeing, you know, maybe it'll be a little bit easier to work with his hair and a little bit easier to braid it if it's straighter. So I figured, why not? So like I said, it is cold air only. I'm using my old Tresemme blow dryer. I got this at Walmart. The piece that I have for the nozzle doesn't fit, so there's a little tape on it. Don't mind that, guys. You know, gotta do what you gotta do. So I have it on full speed and full heat, but like I said, I'm pressing that cold air button the whole time, so there's no warm air, no hot air, nothing coming out. That's how I go about avoiding heat damage. I've rarely used a blow dryer in his hair. That's maybe like the 5th time, if that. So I'm not too worried about that either way, but cold air only over here. I will say that I've probably used warm heat maybe once on his hair, and it didn't even make a difference. It was just like I had used cold. It didn't really straighten it out any different than it would have if I was using cold air, and I just rather not risk the damage. So I only use cold air if I really feel like the style calls for the hair to be a little more straighter, a little more manageable than its thick curly state that it's usually in. Now, if you do use heat, that is totally your preference. I am not a heat shamer, I promise. Just remember to use a heat protectant in the hair, guys. We want to keep it as protected as possible because these are protective styles that we're putting their hair into. Alright, so I've done blow drying the whole head. Now I'm just going with the wide tooth comb and combing it through section by section at a time, you know, just to make sure it's just that much easier to work with. His hair's thick, guys. Hair is thicker than a snicker. So it is a lot to work with, even in this like sort of straightened state. It's still a lot, and I find that his hair kind of reverts or stays thicker, curlier towards the bottom, even if it is straightened. So, you know, there's that. So if you don't want to use heat, don't worry about it. Skip through this next part and just get to the braiding sections. Now, I will say, after doing this style, I've come to the realization that straightening cold blow dries, only really necessary if I am single braiding his hair. So if I'm doing like box braids, triangle part braids, stuff like that, like plaits, I'll do that. But if not, and I'm just braiding, I'm not even going to bother with it. Alright, so to our favorite now, our Shine and Jam. This is our conditioning gel, extra hold. I will be trying to get my hands on the red one when this yellow container is done, and I'll let you guys know how I like it. We're just going to add that to the sections, and then I'm going to go in with my extra wide tail comb and just part the hair, get the part line crisp, get the part line even, just to make sure that the style looks nice. And I will link the comb in the description below. So this is important. Make sure you guys are not pulling, but holding the hair apart so you can see that it's being sectioned properly. The line may look straight, the line may look curvy while the hair is like loose, but when you pull it taut, you'll be able to see what the line is really looking like, and then you can make sure that you part the hair properly. Alright, so now we're going to part the back into two. I went with a zigzag part. I'm cleaning it up here just to keep the style looking different, just to add something nice to it. You can do a straight part if you like, but I did go with that zigzag, and we're just going to make that back section into two. So I do like to use the Shine and Jam on the hair. Remember, you can protect the hair a little bit more if you want to use whatever your go-to oil is, just to kind of put like a protective layer, a protective barrier. But for this style to look it would be best to use the gel. You're going to comb through, you're going to brush through just to get everything flat and looking smooth. Trust me, this was the hardest part of this, adding elastics, because my arm is still messed up. I actually have tendonitis in my hand. I have an issue with the flexor tendon in my thumb. You never realize how much you need your thumb in everyday life, especially on your dominant hand, until you can't use it properly. So if I'm doing things a little bit funny, a little bit weird, that is why I'm still to this day trying to get it back to normal. It's been about 2 weeks now, 3 weeks. I don't know if it's ever going to go back to normal, but I'm pushing through and I'm still getting these videos out for you guys. So go ahead and braid both of those down, and then you don't forget to add your elastics. You can either add them now or add them at the end, whichever makes it easier for you. But as you can see here with this straightening, with the blow drying, his hair, I don't know, it just doesn't look the same. It doesn't have that same effect and luster as when I do it curly, so I skipped the blow drying. All right, so we're going in now to do the front section. We're going to be splitting this into 3, so in total we just have 5 braids today. Like I said, works up super easy. So I'm going through with my brush. This is our even flow brush. It is also linked in the description below, just to make sure that all of the hair is detangled, and it's just going to make it so much easier to braid the front. All right, so now I'm just using the center of his head as my beginning point, and I'm going to make 3 triangles coming down either side, so they're not going to go straight back, obviously, because they're triangles. And you just try and get them as evenly spaced out as possible. You just want them to look similar. You don't want them to look wonky. You don't want one big, one small, and one medium. This is not Goldilocks and the Three Bears, guys. So I decided to leave in for you guys how long it actually takes me to part a section. I usually like edit it to like that last part or the first part, just so you guys can see like where I'm doing it, but it takes me a minute. And even still, I wasn't done because I had to put the Shine and Jam and then go back over it with the tail comb. But yeah, a lot of parting to get those lines, and sometimes they don't even come out straight because kids don't like to sit still. Alright, so we are going in with our Shine and Jam again. We're making sure that everything is laying flat. We're making sure that everything is detangled. So I'm putting that on. You can do a base layer with your go-to oil if you prefer. Make sure it's something that's light. And then I'm going to comb through, brush through, and then brush through again. I want to make sure the front is flat and ready to go, and also the hair is detangled. So when I do that, I'm now going to just section off a little piece at the front and just get my braid going. I'm just going to braid down straight back in my triangle section. I'm going to try and keep it as close to the outer perimeter as I can, because this is a bigger sectioned piece. You want to keep all that hair in. That allows for the style to last longer instead of flyaways and the sides getting fuzzy and coming out of the braid, and then it's like, ugh, gotta get rid of it. So as you go along, comb it in, brush it in, whatever you need to do to keep it together. And you can even do it once, take it out halfway and go back again, just to make sure that you're getting it as flat and together as possible. It's funny, I still get asked how I'm able to keep Cam so calm and so cooperative when it comes to braiding his hair. And to this day, I honestly don't know. I just really lucked out. If it wasn't for the iPad, or in the beginning, we'd put on an episode of Elmo's World to keep him distracted, it wouldn't be this easy, but I'm getting lucky, guys. All right, so we are getting to that middle one. We're gonna jazz it up a little bit. We're gonna add something different. We're actually gonna add a little bit of a zigzag here. It's not gonna be a full zigzag, just the beginning part. So as you can see, I sectioned it off by 3, so I'm gonna use that first section. I'm adding my shine and jam to make sure the hair is laid, and then we're gonna braid it through. And you could start whichever direction is easier for you, whichever side is more comfortable for you, and then you're just gonna get going. Alright, so then I'm going to now add that first braid into the second one. You see I've come now to the other side of his head. So you just go to the opposite side. You connect that first piece, the end of the first part of the braid, into the beginning of the second part of the braid. And then you're going to just braid a little bit past it, and you're going to leave that end part again because we're going to connect it to the next one. So now that we are going to section that last one off, we're just going to have 3. You're gonna go back now to the side that you were on before, and you're gonna add the end into the beginning, and you're just gonna braid down. Super easy, nothing to it. Like I said, this is still beginner friendly, because it's really self-explanatory to do just the beginning of this zigzag. So we're going back in with our fave shine and jam again, making sure that we're getting the outside of the hair because it is going to be one big braid. Go ahead and comb through, brush through, make sure everything is flat and detangled. And then I'm going to take the end of that first part of the braid, and I'm going to add it to the middle. You know how you have 3 pieces when you're doing a braid, so I'm going to add it to the middle, and just try and start it off with whatever side the braid will be underneath first. You know how you go over and under? You want to add it to whichever is under first, because then it's going to let it stay flat and keep the style looking a lot more flawless. And just keep braiding down, adding in as you go. Make sure you still use your comb and your brush to keep the hair together like we were doing on the outside braid. You just want to make sure that it's not lumpy, it's not bumpy, and everything looks cohesive together. Okay, so now for me to struggle again. As you can see, it's very strange way that I'm holding the elastics. I'm using my index and my middle finger. Y'all use it the normal way. This is just how I'm able to do it with my thumb injury at this moment. So we're going to go ahead, once everything is secure, we're going to unbraid the ends, and then we're going to section it off. Make sure you braid it out, make sure it is flat, it is thin, it's looking cute. And then you just braid it down, nothing special. If you decided to go with twists or something on the other parts of hair, like in the back, then you would twist this as well. But if we're keeping it braids, keep it braids, and it's all cohesive, so it all looks like one look. And voila, that is it, guys. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Okay, this one was super quick. 5 braids, we put them all together. We had a little fancy part in the front. You can leave that out if it's a little too hard for you, if it takes up more time, but the style came out so cute. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you do, thumbs up this video. Hit us down in the comment section below. Love hearing from you guys. Also hit us up on our Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, share our video with your family and friends, and come back for the next one. Okay, guys? We'll see you again. Bye.